I don't believe the evidence he's brought forward is enough right now. And wanting everything in a closed session, like, well, that's classified. You know, I'd feel better about this if it was in a closed session. There was so much of that said that, you know, it's sad that, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist like a lot of Tea Partyists are, but I want to see some damn evidence, you know, and I understand that everybody can't see that evidence in some situations, but, you know, we're talking about killing people to punish them for killing people. To show us some damn evidence, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the world wants to see this evidence too.
Well, Russia has said that they were homemade rockets.
As we sit outside, we keep hearing about this evidence, but nobody's seeing it, and this is why. And okay, so far, who is it? Germany and is it Britain have both supported the American stance of this, but they're in cahoots with. I mean, we know now, thanks to Snowden, that these guys are all in bed together anyway. So why are we going to believe that the Germans supporting the Americans adds any validity to this evidence that no one has seen?
Or credibility.
Or credibility, yes.
Or credibility. All right,
what was that, Andrew, you were saying?
Oh, well, just the other day, Russia came out and said they finished their investigation, and they discovered that the munitions used were homemade rockets and homemade sarin, you know, not militarily produced. And I mean, I don't know if we can believe that, but it's the only evidence anybody's put forward. The only evidence we put forward to say that it was Bashar Assad is, oh, it was him. He's a bad guy.
We don't know. And that's the thing. We don't know. I've seen reports coming out that say that, well, the rebels might have, you know, taken over a facility that might have had chemical weapons in it.
Right.
And I don't want to be all conspiratorial, but who has the most to gain for the Americans coming in and toppling the Assad regime?
Yeah, exactly.
No, Assad's a dictator. Assad's a bad guy. Don't get me wrong, but he's also not a dumbass.
Yeah, it does.
He's also not stupid, and he knows. And that red line by Obama, it's been out there for a while.
Yeah, no, Assad invited the UN in, and then like a day before they get there, 3 days before they get there, he decides to launch this massive chemical attack. Just now.
Helpful. It just makes you think, like, come on now, this is pretty stupid. And maybe it could have been a rogue element. I've heard some discussion about that, a rogue element within the Assad military as well.
That makes more sense.
Once again, this whole thing seems to benefit.
But think about Cambodia and shit like that too, though. You know, I mean, and a lot of other older things from the '80s where, you know, it was us who caused all this problem, and you know, and it's not beyond our own agents to let's say incite this type of conflict. and
Bay of Tonkin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know, so I mean, you know, we can't really trust any of this at the moment with the evidence that's presented, and I don't believe that hair samples and skin samples, because that gas was actually in them and proved that it was in there in the DNA, I don't think that proves fucking shit. You know, I'm sorry, it still doesn't say who did what.
Not just that, the UN has no mandate to say who they think used the weapons. It's just if they were used. And it really concerns me when I see all these people, these establishment warmongers making these emotional pleas. It just, all I hear is emotional plea and no evidence. It really reminds me of
Iraq.
past. Yeah.
Iraq.